Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with the vowels, and it's going to get awesome. So the system that we're using, of course, is called RIIH, i.e., read it in Hebrew. Today is the vowels. We had 2 sessions on the letters. Hopefully, you know them. If you ever need review, you have the cards. Flip over the card. You have the name of the letter and the sound that it makes. You have the app with the sound that it makes. You have all that stuff. Today, we're going to learn vowels. And the reason why vowels are important is because without the vowels, the word could be any sort of reading. So, for example, take a look at this one. I'm actually going to get up and show you what is going on over here. Now, if you have a little bit more of a background in Hebrew reading, can you tell me what that word is? Okay, what else? Good. Yeah, so the problem with this is because there are no vowels.
Or dude,
right. Because there are no vowels, you can read this. You can read these 3 letters in many different ways. You can read it as David, right? Let's see if this is going. Oh, now we got it. Oh, sorry. You can read it as Dode. Now you don't have to know what that dot means. We haven't learned it yet, but just stick with me for a second. This could be Dode, which means uncle. It could also be David, which is David, which is a name. So it could be any sort. It could be dude, as you mentioned, right? This could be any number of words. If you don't have the vowels, there is no way of knowing what this actually is. Even though you can read the letters and you know the sound the letters make, but how do you articulate? How do you articulate those letters, right? I'm thinking of an English equivalent. If you only had consonants and not vowels, what would be a good example? No, I mean like in English word, if we took only the core letters, I don't know. It would take wait.
RD could be red.
No, something that has more. What else would it be?
If you take
Which ones?
the vowel out of red, it could be road or red or glad.
Oh, fantastic. Right. Imagine you took 2 letters. Thank you. That's a great example. Imagine you take 2 English letters, R and D. And you say, we don't have vowels in English language. Sorry, vowels are gone. Sorry, Vanna. There's no more buying vowels because vowels don't exist. Right? So those don't exist. That was my Price is Right imitation. Not Price is Right. Wheel of Fortune. So imagine there's no vowels. So all you have is R and D. So you could read it as road, red, rad, rude, raid. Look at this. Hold on. Rud. Ruddy. Right. Read.
Yeah.
Look at that. 2 letters.
Could be REE or REA.
Right. Oh, right. And within read, there's 2 reads.
And if it was red, it could be RED or RE.
Oh, I didn't think of that either. Right. I was thinking of the color, but you're right. It could be read, red, road, rude, raid. So in Hebrew, because it's consonants, so therefore the vowels make such a difference. David, dude, dode, date, not date, whatever. So this, I don't know if this is the best example. This is the example that we have here. The point is vowels are critical because without vowels, you don't know what words you're reading. Make sense? So today we're going to begin learning and developing our, really a recollection of the Hebrew vowels. There are a number of Hebrew vowels that are indicated, and they're called in Hebrew. The Hebrew word for the vowels is nikudot. Nikudot, well, what are nikudot? The vowels? No. Nikudot actually literally means dots. Why dots? Because typically, not always, but typically, the vowels in Hebrew are indicated by dots, either below the letters or above the letters. Okay, so that's your clue as to what the vowel is. You look for the, or in the middle of the letters, right? Okay, on the bottom, on top, or in the middle. Good, excellent. So again, I'm just gonna play this again. We have dode, that vav in the middle with the little dot on top. That's actually in this word. It is a vowel, not a consonant. So it's dode. Again, we're gonna learn this. You don't have to learn this down. Just demonstrating. Whereas here it's David. So the point here is that you have vowels, and vowels are very important. So the first one we're gonna come up to is called the kamas. Now, we are going to, we're just talking about vowels and how important the vowels are in Hebrew. Okay, I have to tell Jessica what we just came up with.
Yeah.
This was really good. This was really good. Okay. So basically, and it's not even my idea, it's Richard's idea.
Okay.
He's like, imagine you take the two English letters, R and D. And you're like, well, what does R and D, what word does imagine RD in English, and how do you pronounce that? Road, red, raid, rude, right? Depending on the vowel, huh? Rid, oh, we didn't have rid. You see? Rad we had, right? Rad, road, rude, rod. Oh, we didn't have rod either. So rod, we had rod.
Yeah.
So the point is that you can always come up with so the vowels are critical because you have just consonants in Hebrew, and depending on the vowel is what will determine what word you have in front of you. So we're right up to the first vowel. The first vowel we're coming up to is the kamas. Now, here we get into a little bit of a difference. I'm trying not to confuse this, but we do have a little bit of a distinction between the way Ashkenazim pronounce this and the way Sephardim pronounce it, and the way it's pronounced in Israel today. So kamas either has an sound or a bit of an sound. We're gonna go with a slight sound, like the tongue depressor when the doctor says, say, okay, so kamas will be So okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, the way up, see, tongue depressor, and you probably have that. You flip over that card. What number is that? What number card?
38.
38. Do we have tongue depressor there?
Yep.
Boom. Now, how do you remember this? Here's how. You ready? Let's do this. The tongue depressor. Actually, was written. Hold on, maybe another version of this. It's really written as a. Hold up that card for a second. That's better. That's how it's in the Siddur. So take a look. You have the tongue depressor, and underneath it is.
Looks like
The
a
thing
you give up.
the thing in the
What's
middle.
You give up.
Oh, I didn't know that had a premium tonsil. I was.
Yeah.
That's not a tonsil. That's not the tonsil.
No,
I don't know, but
the tonsils are on the side.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Actually, I'm not
even.
Three.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Also knows the dandy.
boom, or in my world, a tonsil, yeah.
I just think it looks more like a K
As a what, sir?
Well, you know, it's trying to differentiate between the patak and the kamas.
Right.
To me, it's more towards a K. That's how I.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's got some of that stuff, yeah, okay, I can see that, yeah. So this will make somewhat of an sound. Now, if you want to apply so here's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna do this together. I'm gonna stand up by the big board. And can I point? I can go point. Look at that.
Yeah.
Shadow pointing. It's so great. So what we're gonna do here is go through each letter in turn. Remember, you know the sounds of the letters, but but what's wild is, for example, lamed. So what English letter corresponds to the lamed? What sound is that? L, right? But hold on, is it la, li, lu, lay? How do you know what? So
Yeah.
that's where the vowel comes in. So this vowel is kamatz. So it's kamatz, aleph, kamatz, bet, ba, kamatz, vet, va. Kamatz, gimel, ga, kamatz, dalet, da. You guys with me on that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So remember, the letter is just the letter. You can't say that the bet makes a ba sound. It can make a b sound. It can make a boo sound. It can make a bo sound. You don't know it because that's already putting a vowel with it, right? You're already adding a vowel. So without the vowel, it's just.
So these are the O, A, I, E, U, and sometimes.
Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
A.
So let's go through these. You know, when we learn Aleph Beis with kids in Chabad, there's something holy about the experience of teaching the child to read literally by saying the words Kamatz Aleph Kamatz Bet Ba, Kamatz Bet Va, Kamatz Gimel Ga, and it's really we don't have we're on the clock, so we're gonna move a little bit quicker. So we're not all gonna say kamatz aleph, we're not gonna do that whole thing, we're just gonna say the sound. So let's do it now together, starting with the aleph, let's go.
Ba,
Va, va,
da,
da, va, za, ka, ta. All right, hold on, let's pause here for a second. How are we feeling about that first line?
Good.
Good? So remember, these are just sound, the letter plus an sound.
So I think you've answered my question, like Zion, so the ayin doesn't ever really come into play, it's just that first sound.
Exactly,
Okay, and
Right.
the text, it's just the,
right,
so
so,
more of a than a hey,
yes.
so the hey is ha,
Ha,
and the het is ha.
ha, exactly.
Okay, okay,
So the het is where you're clearing,
you're.
yeah, exactly. I'll say frogs, but yes, correct. Correct, yes, it's like, watch out, I'm about to express a S word. So clear, this may be a splash zone now at this point. I'm sorry, by the way, this is literally a laser, the reason why I'm doing this, it's a laser projector, I cannot tell you how bright this thing is. So that's why if I turn this thing on, I literally have to show my eyes, because it's super strong. So let's do this top line again, remember, there's no, it's not about shortcuts, it's not about trying to, learn it quicker or whatever it is, it's really about learning it accurately, so that the main thing is getting it correct, so let's go through this again, from the top, let's do it. Va, ga, da, ha, va, za, ka, ta, good, now. The yud might be, yes, the yud is basically a Y sound. Yud, yeah, so, ya, ka, ka, la, ma, na, sa, ha, okay,
Question,
yes,
so the cuff, so P, isn't it gonna be different?
no, it sounds the same. Now, there is a cuff, so there's a final cuff, which would be ka. Why is it not here? We have had that question the whole time, all left so far. It's just absent over here. I don't know why they didn't put it in, but whatever, this would be definitely ka.
Okay.
Like the word, which word has it? L'cham. Left l'cham. That's it, the l'cham, cha is right there. By the way, today, I'm telling you, we're gonna get to reading pretty complex words.
No.
It's gonna happen, huh?
No.
In three cards, beware of three cards, alright, let's do this, we're down here at the bottom, remember this is the fe, so it's gonna make, I just.
Fa.
The fa, sa, ka, ra, sha, sa, alright, good, this is it, so remember, when you see this, the goal is not to get instant recall forever from one session. The goal is to learn it and to have it clear and straight so that you can practice it and review it and get quicker at it. This is boom, boom, it makes the sound. Think of the tongue depressor, think of the, I'm gonna call it ukulele because that's the only word I remember that sounds like that other thing that you said, whatever.
You want me to teach you?
Yeah, please.
You,
Yeah.
you,
You,
la,
wait, no, say it again.
you, la,
Uvula,
uvula,
that's
yeah,
the word?
yeah.
She thought like ukulele.
No, and that was my spoof of the word. Okay, I don't know that I remember that. However, I want you, so even though I may not remember that, I want you to remember, very balanced. This is a non-equitable space right now. But anyway, remember this is the sound, tongue depressor, you are, alright, I got very close. Alright, so let's run through this. But wait.
It's working.
Let's make it harder. Out of order. Oh no, the part.
We
Alright,
got
this is out of order. You guys got this?
Yes.
Now you can't rely on order muscle memory. You gotta really know the letters here. So we're gonna start from the top. First of all, who can tell me what that first letter is?
Good.
Good. Remember, it looks so much like that. So much like that. Sort of. So much like chaf. The way you differentiate it is it's narrower. So it's the nun because it's narrow. That's how you know it. All right, let's start from the top. Let's go. Na, ba, ra, fa, za, la, fa, sha, a, ta, ka, ta, ba, ha, 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 sa, ga, sa, na. All right, hold on.
Okay.
Yes, right. There's a lot of look-like letters here, and when they're mixed up out of order, it's definitely harder to
Oh, yeah.
recall. And
Ka, no, ka.
ka is there, yes, ka is there, it's got the cough drop, ka is there, okay, dropped it.
Okay.
Pa has got the, what do we say the pa was, the penny in the face, I don't know. That's- The chicken, oh, you guys were all into the chicken line, all right, I forgot that, you brought back numbers. All right, let's continue with the yud, we got ya, da, fa, fa, sa, sa, ka. All right, now your throat is clear. Okay, you got this? So, all right, I'm assuming the answer is yes. Got this?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's a little tricky, but yes.
It's super
Figured
tricky.
it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look at this words.
Stop.
Yep, it's happening right now. So we're starting now, I told you, look, we're starting to read. These are all actual words. These are 2-letter Hebrew words. It's not just random letters smushed together with a vowel. These are actual, I'll tell you what they mean even.
Is that
Yes, and it means, well, almost. It means brother. It could also be my brother. Actually means brother in Hebrew. So is brother. Now, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna be confusing. Is brother. Now, the next one is dog. Good. What is a dog? Fish. Boom. There's a kid's song that's about Hebrew, how crazy Hebrew is, like for English speakers. And a dog is a fish. That's like kind of like one of the
Oh.
refrains of the thing. Dog is a fish. Who would have thought? But anyway, that's pronounced dog. Good. So we have and dog. Next one is ba. Ba means come. If you're calling someone over, come.
Ben is come in Spanish. Ben.
With
Yeah,
an
ben-
N at the end.
And
Yeah,
in
like
Italian, it's
Ben.
Benny Qua, come here, in Italian.
Ba.
Ba.
Come. All right. Next one is come. Next one is
Bar.
bar. Good. Bar.
I like to go to a bar.
Bar mitzvah. We should treat ourselves. Post a little, yeah, I was joking, we call it a bar mitzvah. You tell the kid he's an adult, he's like, all right, we're doing drinking, you get a bar mitzvah. All right, next one is,
Jewish man walks into a bar,
huh?
Jewish man walks into a bar.
Mitzvah. There's the punch. All right. Sa, that means sack of the bag. Actually, English is similar to the Hebrew here.
No.
Means teacher. Means arrive. Oh, we already had that. I'm seeing double.
What is that? Oh, brother.
Brother.
Okay.
I guess the Mara is right.
What you just said. Now I think.
No, it's new. Mar, like Passover, Marar.
Oh, Mar.
Yeah, Mar means bitter. Yeah, Marar is a bitter herb, but Mar actually means bitter.
Got it.
Means enough. Shav, sit, Fash. That's what it means. I was not telling you to be, but I'm just telling
Oh,
you.
no,
And that's
the
the
last
double-
thing is-
that's the double we
Hush,
I said,
hush. Oh, hush. Oh, interesting.
the same way?
Hush. No, it's with a hush, but it means quiet.
Oh,
Yeah.
second.
It's also, there's multiple, because with Israelis, you need multiple words to get them. Why, I'm kidding. It's like Eskimos in the snow. Yeah,
That's the double.
the what? Oh, that word means,
What
like,
is it? Pronounce.
oh, I would go dying.
Yeah.
Dying. It means enough,
Not
like
that.
dayin, right? Dayin, so in Hebrew, so one thing, this is not a grammar course, but I feel like it's important to mention a few things. So you have some letters in Hebrew words where the prefix or the suffix is not part of the main word. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Say it again.
Yeah.
Say it again. In Hebrew, so in English, you sometimes, if you wanted to say, Well, let's take the word Dayenu. The translation of Dayenu is it would have been enough. That's a lot more English words than Hebrew words, right? Why? Because you have the word die, which means enough, and then you have Dayenu. You have an extra yud and a nun and a vav at the end, which means it's like the possessive. It would have been enough for us. It means the extra letters, but it's part of the word. The extra letters at the end or at the beginning can make it. I don't know what the right grammatical terms are. Can make it take on either possessive or a masculine, feminine. There's a lot of things that can happen, but they're combined to one word. So it's important when Hebrew language to identify what the shoresh is. Now, that's a Hebrew word. Shoresh means the root of the word. So in Dayenu, the root of the word is die, which means enough. It's got other letters, but that just makes it would have been enough for us. But the core word there is die, which means enough. Or achi, the word achi. So the first word, achi, with the yud at the end, and means my brother. So ach is brother, achi is my brother. Achenu, our brother.
So, wait, a yud can be E also?
If it has the vowel under it.
Okay.
If it has it would have to have a dal. Oh no, sorry. The dal would be under. Oh, we didn't get to that vowel yet. There would be another vowel underneath the that.
Got it.
That would then tell you what to do to get to the. Because remember, it ends with a Y. Achi, so it could end with the Y sound, but there would be another vowel under here. But just the point of this is that in Hebrew we have 4 words. So 4 words are either 2 or 3 letters. Here are all 4 words, like maror, but maror is bitter, but mar is bitter, and or dagim is plural fish, plural, dag is fish singular.
No, fish is singular.
There you go.
Fishes, yeah.
English.
No.
No, in English it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Now, all right, we go to this, you see what's happening? So you're already reading 2-letter words.
Wow.
Mouse club, that's big, and it's, whoa, I had an extra thing. Now we're gonna move on to 3-letter words.
Oh my God.
Okay, now we're getting to the soup
Rock.
course. The reason why is because this is, first word means soup in Hebrew. Let's go.
Marak.
Marak. Marak. You got that? Marak? Marak? Not Morocco, but Marak is soup. Next, oh, this is a favorite.
Adam.
Adam means man. Shana means year. Shana is year. Shana Tova, right? Good year. New year. This is it. This is Hebrew. So these are 3-letter words. They all mean something. I don't know that I'm going to translate all of them, although I'm so tempted to. But the key here is when you read the letters and when you read words, I'm sorry, you always look. I guess the way probably your mind's already processing, but just to break down the mechanics. You'll always start with the letter, identify first the letter, and then the vowel underneath it, and then blend them together. So you have the mem, you have the kama, so that's ma, great. And then you have the resh, and the kama says ra, ma, ra, and then the kuf, which is the kuf sound. So ma, ra, boom.
I have a question.
Ma, ra. Yeah.
Is there ever a vowel on an ending
Yes.
letter? Okay.
Yes. And we'll get to those.
Okay.
And then you have the same thing. Dum, sha, na. Now, what's interesting about that the last letter is hey, just so you know, the hey is not like an aleph, it's not just a no sound, it's a bit of a breathy sound, like, right? Hey would be like an H. So, shana, if you want to be really grammatically accurate, you would probably say something like shana, but no one says that. Which is weird. If you elaborate on it like that, you go shana. So someone's gonna be like, "Are you okay? Can I get you some apples?" Like, what is going on? So shana, you just, the assumption is that you did a bit of a breath there at the end. All right, let's go. Melt my heart by reading this right, guys.
Namas.
Namas.
Namaste, yeah.
Namas. Well, good. Ka na na. And it's corner. Like it's thirsty. Sa ma. Next. Rad. That means hail. Zafla means marriage. Ooh, this is a good one.
Van.
Yes, Yavan. Now, what's cool about this is it's like the same shape in three
Whoa.
sizes,
What does
small,
that
medium,
mean?
large.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, the mystics say, so Yavan means, well, Yavan is the Hebrew word for Greek. For the Greek nation culture, like, so the story of Hanukkah, it was the Jews against Yavan, or the Yevanim, the Greeks plural. So it says that when you follow like negative ideologies, so it may start off small, but then the descent gets bigger and bigger, right? It's a slippery slope down into a negative place. As you see there, Yavan, it literally goes step to step. I mean, that's just like an aside. This is great. This is the third word of the Torah. Bara. Bara. Bara means create. Bereshit. Bara. Oh, sorry. Second word. Guess who can't count? Boom. Bereshit. Bara. Bara means create. The beginning, God created. Yeah.
Isn't it Bara?
It's bara.
Oh.
Bara. Now it's not a hey at the end, so there's no need to even potentially go breathy on that. It's bara. It just ends. I'll be honest with you. Even if we didn't have this last letter, and you just had the vowel, it would sound the same, because you're not doing anything with this one.
Right.
We bara. It has an aleph, that's just the way the word works, not just about sounds, about the word itself. But it doesn't, that doesn't change the sound. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If it was any other letter, other than an ayin, it would give another sound, it just doesn't. Because remember aleph, no sound. Oh, 4-letter word, first time. Harama. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. Boom. Ha, right? And again, it's just start with the letter and you just move down and across. Ha, ra, ma.
What does that mean?
That's it. Harama means uplifted. Harama means like the uplifted one, I think. The top. Ra,
No, I didn't know.
no,
Sneaky.
so remember, it's sneaky, and remember the ches, the chet and the hay, I mean, come on, it's so super close, there's a gap, there's a little gap over there, so you gotta look for that gap, here, there's no gap. Charana, charana, it's a bit word for char, here we go, more holidays. Come on, okay, next. Yeah. So just to break this down, just make sure that the mechanics are understood why this sounds like it sounds. And remember, this is like a Y sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, on this one, ra. Remember, the ayin doesn't have a sound like the aleph. The aleph and ayins both don't have sounds. Remember, the ayin was like eyes
Yeah.
that were silent. Wow. I just magnified that almost.
You have a laser pointer? Or
Huh?
it's not working? I thought you had a laser.
No, I have some sort of, I have a pointer, but it's not exactly,
Load downloaded one, let me see if it works.
what does this do?
He's gonna give it to you.
This is supposed to like,
Everything.
this is supposed to do, oh my gosh, oh, it even looks like old school, but like a musical, like.
That's pretty cool.
I love
All right, well, who would have thought? And I still can't see. All right, so here, by the way, this last 3 words
Yeah.
actually can spell the sentence.
Haman, Haya.
Haman is the guy.
Yeah.
Haya means was. Rasha means wicked. Haman, Haya, Rasha. Haman was wicked. Boom. Look at that. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Yeah, we still can't let it go. Keep with the bag. All right, you guys good with this?
Yeah.
See what we're doing? We're putting together words.
Amazing.
And by the way, if you would look at this, you're like, whoa, that's a lot of stuff. All right, this is, you break it down and it's happening. Now we're on to the next vowel. And for our next vowel,
You know, it's
we
bad.
are, sorry,
Really good.
this. I know,
Why do we have 2 vowels that are the same?
they're slightly different. The kamatz makes a little bit more of an sound, slightly, and the patach makes an sound, more of an sound. Like more of a wide. There's and and sort of. It's like it's a little bit in between. So it's hard, it's a little bit hard to differentiate.
Okay.
The problem, the thing is, the way the mnemonics, the visuals are here, it's pretty much identical. So we don't get that distinction, at least in the visuals. Ataf is a tongue depressor, but at this time, instead of it's it's more of an sound. Okay, and like in my head, as I've seen it 1,000 times, I just see that long line and it's like just like an like a wide So ba, ba, ga,
Okay.
da, ba, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, ba, sa, all right, got it?
Yeah.
So the other one's a little bit more of an and this is an All right, it's very similar. In Israel, most people are pronouncing it identical. So if you're doing it identical, that's also fine with me. All right. Oh, look at this. We got mixed up again. Always, whenever we feel a little comfortable, this is what's going on. Okay, let's do this together. You guys ready? Wait, is it better if I dim it and have a circle, or is that annoying? Probably annoying, right? We don't need to do
It's fine, that's what
this.
it's.
Yeah, let's just give it this. All right, let's go. Okay, let's pause here for a second. Now, I just want to point out a few things. First of all, it sounded really good from where I'm standing. This samach right there, sorry, wrong one. The samach right there,
Yeah.
right? Remember, it's slanted and sliced. I think everyone got it right. I'm just pointing out that you see it in isolation. Just remember what that guy is. It's a sa sound, which is great. All right, next, second line down. Let's go. Jump in. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Excellent. Oh, good. Oh, 1 second. That's a va, right? Va, good. Right, let's stop here for a second. So remember that this letter is ka, right? It's the kaf, da, ka, ba, fa. Now, totally legit to say these letters are looking a lot the same, which they do. They all have this similar shape. This one is a dot. This one has that situation, the chicken, whatever. This is the bet, kaf, and fe. Ka, ba, fa. And remember, the more you repeat it, the more, I'm just looking this way for the sake of my eyeballs. So the more you go over the letters, either with flashcards or however you want to do it, just the more drills, the easier it's going to become for the recall. All right, bottom line, let's go. Good. Excellent. All right. Now let's move on. Whoa, look at this. Now we're mixing vowels. Okay, check this out, guys. We're mixing vowels, and the mixing happens starting on line 3, where you see you have your patach and your comments. So now we're blending the first two that we learned so far. Okay, so you can either make them sound the same or similar. It's both of them are good. So let's start. We're going to go slowly. Let's start from the first line. We have 2 and 3 letter words. We're going to build up throughout this lesson. We have a 4-letter word as well. We're going to build up this lesson to more complex words and more elaborate pronunciations. But let's start at the top. Let's say, and I'll say it together with you guys. Ma, kai, achas. Or achas, achas, pa, ka, za, ka, na, ka. So if you hear somebody saying they have nachas when they're kids, nachas means pride. That's how that word is pronounced. Or nacha, nachas. All right, next, third word. All right. This is I think it's our first 4-letter word. Here's how this works. Remember, you're always starting with the letter and moving down and then moving across and then down and across and down and then across. So it's ha, 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 ha. Okay, that's the word.
Okay.
So the mechanics are there, it's just about grouping it together. I remember, I don't know, I watched Sesame Street as a kid, that was great. They would always break down the words into like.
Yeah.
And you just move, remember, the goal is not like, how can I do like 1,000 words a minute? That's what about rabbis are. Joking. No, but really, the goal is not like to be the quickest. The goal is to have your mechanics, and then, once you have that accurate, then you just keep on training yourself to move a little faster, because you just repetition, you will get faster.
Rabbi,
Is that Kava?
Yes,
Yeah.
would you please go over the second letter, the second word of the first sentence?
Chai.
So I think I missed that last week where that came out high, with
Oh,
the good, with the other.
oh,
Is
you're
that what I missed?
good. Remember, excellent question. So this second word over here, which I will do the old circle of light. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very cool.
It's like a nice, perfectly round, I don't know.
Yeah,
If I move back, it remains the same size. I don't know what that is, something digital here. So this chai, so they have a chet, which makes the cha sound, sorry, which makes the sound. Oh. Okay, it's a ch sound, I guess. Then you have the patak on there, so it's cha, and then the yud is, because yud, when you say yud, the first letter yud in English even is Y-U-D, like yud, so it makes a Y sound. If it was a hey, it would be cha. If it was an alpha, it would be cha. If it would be an ayin, it would be cha. If it's a yud, it's chai. Chai. The necklace that people wear,
yes.
chai. That means life. Chai.
Oh,
Also-
says the yud next to it.
Yeah, it's the ches and the yud. The chet and the yud. Chai. Now, the gematria, numerology. You want to hear numerology?
Yeah.
You ready for this? You guys ready for numerology? So if you take, you guys have, I want you guys, I really want you guys to do this, the numerology yourselves with the chart from the first card, but there are the double letters, because like bet and bet, and they only count this one. Okay, if you counted up the letters, okay, chet is which number letter? Alright, whatever, it's not, I'll tell you. Chet is the 8th letter, and yud is the 10th. What's
Right.
8 plus 10?
Yeah, it is.
18. Now, you know that 18 is a very Jewish number. People give like donations, whatever, multiples of 18.
Yeah.
Right? 18 million, good, right? 18, 36, 72, 54, 72, etc. So why is that? Because it's about life, living, etc. Okay, so we are up to 3rd row, which I love because we're blending now. Chava. Now you could either, so I told you you can go both ways. You do chava
That's whether you can see the difference in the two vowels.
or chava. Chava, right. That Chava, of course, is Adam, and Chava, that's the Hebrew name for Eve, the first woman.
But does it
Grant,
mean woman?
huh?
Does it
No,
mean-
Chava doesn't mean, Chava means, well,
Because Adam means man.
right, yeah, so Adam's weird, that's not a commentary about him in his life, but he is, the word Adam is strange, because Adam is both an individual's name, Adam, as well as the general name for humankind is Adam. One of the 4 names, Adam, Ish, Enosh, Geber. There's 4 names for human beings. Adam is one of them, but it's also an individual name. Chava is just her name. It's not like a general name.
Okay.
Next one is a great word, Saba or Saba, which means grandfather. Shabbos or Shabbat. See here, this word, you can see the 2 pronunciations. Do you say good Shabbos or Shabbat Shalom? And the
Wait, is that
reason,
a tav or a sav?
so it's a saf, but Israelis pronounce the saf and tav the same as a T sound. So they do that. So that's why they would read this every day of the week, including the 7th day as Shabbat. All right. Oh, look at this. Let's keep on going.
Ah,
Or Chala, right? Depending on Chala. Next. Rabba. That means father. Rabba means bride.
ah.
Easy peasy.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, this is legitimate. This is like legitimate reading right here. This is absolute reading. Okay, You guys comfortable with this?
Yeah.
So remember, the mechanics always are, I've said this already twice, third time, you always start with letter, your vowel, your letter, your vowel, your letter, no vowel, so you stop. Ka, va, or kava. Sa, ba. That's it. Alright, simple. What's cool about Hebrew is that it's very efficient, because you could write it without the vowels. Oh, you know what's, I need to mention this. So what's interesting about a Torah scroll is that there are no vowels in the Torah scroll. So whenever you hear the reader reading from Torah scroll, be even more impressed than you've been before. They don't just have a melodious voice, hopefully, but they also have memorized the entire Torah portion, the vowels, because they're not written, there's no dots in your Torah scroll. So they have to know. How do they know? Because they literally memorized the entire Torah portion.
You wanna mention,
Yeah, and then there's the musical notes that are also not written, and you have to memorize which musical notes. And they have other symbols, not in Kudot. Someone just.
Yes.
Back here.
Oh,
Anyway,
I think it's going to the big living.
oh, probably.
Yeah,
Lot two, though.
well, that's not.
No, now there's.
We're not going to-
Sure, it'll be fine. All right, so you with me on this? So when you read the Torah, so if you came up to Chava, because she's mentioned in Torah, you won't have that. Oh, by the way, this is funny. This is there was once a man who came to, the Talmud tells a story. The Talmud, which is the great book of Jewish law, which was written about 1600 years ago, the Talmud says there was once a man who comes to Rabbi and says, Rabbi, I don't believe in the oral tradition. I don't believe in rabbinic, interpretation. I only believe in what the Torah says. So the rabbi says, read these words. And the man read it. He's like, how do you know that that's the word? There are no vowels. In other words, the only way you know how to read it is based on tradition, oral tradition. If a person says, I only believe in the text, I only follow the text, you don't even know what the text says. The text can't tell you what the text says. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's no way for the text to tell you what it itself means. You always need some level of interpretation, even for the basic reading of the letters. The fact that these are the vowels and the vowels sound like this, and those vowels are associated with those words. All right. Anyway, I digress. So let's go. Oh wow, we got more. Oh, holy cow! Let's go. All right.
I'm starting to get over.
Now, ma. Now this is not shema. It's not shema. Shema is a little bit different vowelization. But here we have shema. Also means listen. Shema. Shema. All right. Next one is ya. Ra. Ra. Ya. Shabbat. Shabbat. Ha. Ya. Sa. Raf. Mar. Ba. Cha. Ya. Ar. Sta. La. Right, that's a class. Ka. La. Sha. La. Good? I mean, it's, these are words. So legit words. Holy cow, we got more. I'm debating whether to keep these for your cards and we review them, or let's go through them quickly. Just so you hear me say them, but we need to move on. We have two more vowels to learn. All right, let's go. Sha, na, ba, ka, la. By the way, that means milk. With the milk, chalab. Ha, ra, that means cow. Sarah, sorry, like the name Sarah. Na, again, it's perfectly, or even second Mary. Ba, whoa, that's weird. Buzz. Buzz. Now, okay, let's do this slowly.
Yeah.
Four letters. Let's go. Na, Vatana. Vatana. Find a letter on this slide.
Va.
Abasar. Abasar. That means the meat.
So do you really not differentiate between kabasar
So
or
if you have children going-
kabasar, like that?
Jessica, if you had children going to AJA, they're learning the same
I
stuff.
don't.
What?
They're doing it,
Oh, Israeli, right. So in Israel, you would not make a difference. It would be habasar.
Okay.
But like the way I learned, the way many people do it is they just slight differentiation. Habasar. Habasar.
Okay.
It's like it's so slight,
So it's like,
but it can also be confusing. That's the problem.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of nuance. All right, now, okay, we're gonna officially skip this. Let's move on. We have to learn the next vowels because we have to make sure at least we have the learning in our buckets. Now, what is happening here? First of all, what are these?
The glasses.
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, but what's the
don't
slang?
let
for
it.
that?
What?
Very good.
And shades.
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 Hey, hey,
Yes.
that's the talent right here. Hey. So these two dots, the vowel is A. Remember what were the letters that we did? RD? RD? So if you put O, so based on what we learned today, the first one was the commas. If you were to put a commas under the R, sorry, if you had RD, remember the English, we had R, D. So if you put a commas under the R, it would be rod. If you put a patach under the R, it would be rad. Maybe rad. But here, this is called a Siri, and it makes the A sound. Not the letter A, the A, huh?
Be
Raid, say, shades, say, ray. So the A. Hey, say, ray.
Is it time?
Is it down? He's wearing the shades. I don't know that. All right. This is what's that movie with Al Pacino?
No.
It's not Mom. Good. What is it?
Goodfellas.
No, there's
So then he goes.
no, it's like shot everybody at the end. It's very bloody. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. Siri. I never saw it. No, I'm kidding. All right, Siri. Here we go. Let's go. Pair of shades. Hey. All right. Now. Oh wow. You ready to start again?
Oh.
By the way, you know how I would read this? Okay, I'm kidding. Let's go through one at a time. A, bay, bay, gay, gay, hey, they, say, hey, hey, yay, K, lay, may, nay, say, a, pay, fay, say, K, ray, shay, say, tay, say. Got it?
Yeah.
It's A. And in case you haven't, no,
Scarface.
huh?
Scarface.
Oh, Scarface, Scarface, face, hey, all right, let's go, yeah, we're not gonna do it. Now let's jump straight to the words. Now, if you look at this, I'll be honest, it looks a little dizzy, right? It's like, whoa, what's going on? So many dots and symbols. All we do, right, yes, all we do is go a little slow. Let's go from the top. H, you know what H means? Fire. H means fire. Fire, like a fire. Stage, love that word. Stage means six, it also means marble. Oh, then maybe that's shinish, alright. 6. 8 is wood. Yes, 8 means tree of life. Yes, 8 can mean tree, wood, tree. Yes, that is correct. Stay. Okay, now, 1 second, I need to clarify. Let's step over here. Okay, you ready? Watch this. The yud, that's all. The yud, that's the second letter in that word. Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't really, you don't really hear it. Because even if the yud wasn't there, you would still read it say. You with me? But it's there, because it's how you write it. And there's maybe say, you wouldn't go nuts over it, but it's say, it's say.
What's that mean?
Let's go.
What's that word mean?
That means, Zayas means olive. Zaysay means olives. It's like an inflection of the olive family, something about olives.
Something about olives.
Something about olives, exactly. Say. May. Oh, now we're blending again. Hold on. Ray. Ka. You got that? Ka. Good. Next. Shayna. Shayna's a name.
Okay.
It also means sleep.
Means what?
Sleep.
Oh,
Shayna means sleep.
Shayna, what if I thought-
Oh, that's Yiddish. That's Yiddish.
Oh,
That's Yiddish. It's spelled a little differently. Yeah,
okay.
but it would sound the same. Next. It means word. Good. No.
Wait, is Tivas were made in Israel, weren't they?
Which one?
Teva,
Tiva,
or.
Teva, oh, that's Teva.
Oh, sorry.
Teva. That would be, well, we haven't learned that one yet. That would be a different,
Does that mean shoe? Tava?
Teva.
Mean shoe?
It means Teva,
I
well,
don't know if they were made. I've never-
no,
I thought
Teva
it was
means
Teva.
nature,
Okay, Tava.
which is why,
Teva.
nature shoes that you're hiking with.
Tava.
So, but that is a different one. Teva, also Teva is the name of the ark. Noah's ark is called the Teva. Teva. So you guys got this? Any
Yeah.
questions on this? I mean, look, it's the mechanics just going slow, mechanics and building the words. But any fundamental questions on this, in these letters?
Yeah.
No, good, okay, let's move on. There's more, there's plenty more.
It's so easy.
There's always more, right, so conceptually, it's easy. That's why, when I teach my kids English, so I find myself constantly telling them, this is an exception, that's an exception.
Yeah,
In
it's
English,
right.
there's 1,000 exceptions.
Right,
In
no more.
Hebrew, it's very straightforward. It's very straightforward. You just literally just follow dots and dashes. Let's go here at the top. May, good. God, lay, excellent. Yay. Te. Day. K. Sa. Ve. Lay. Now, a raid. Remember a raid. They both have the A set or the Sarah. A raid. Now, okay, may aid. So yeah, it's because there's no other vowel. So there's no other sound other than the A. So it's may aid. May aid. All right. Tay laid. That means give birth. Ya air. So this is ya air. Ya air. Ya air. Hail. Hail. Now this one is pretty Passover. Mates. 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 That's of course 11 items. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see here also, what's kind of cool is, you see a few, and actually, I didn't point it out before, but I could have, but just on this page, you have a few final letters, like the nun, and the ain.
Yeah.
Right, it's just, that's the way it's written, it's a form of letter in the final tzaddik, which is right there, mates. Okay, let's move on to some more. Okay, we're gonna go, you guys are going to go like another 4 minutes after this time, is that okay? All right, we're gonna go for just a few minutes. Quickly. Tail. Hey, va. I got the K va, okay. May us. A sub. It's the twin brother of Yaakov. Hair. Steak. Right? Steak. Steak. Ya. Hey. Ra. Pain. Ha. Leo. Da, bear. May, owl, right? May, owl. Shay, char. Nay, tzach. Male. Okay. Yeah, oh, wow.
Oh, Lord.
Give me a second, let me see where. Okay, we got one more vowel, we're gonna do. Let's do the second and third lines. The hard ones, okay, we're doing 2 lines of this. Okay, now wait, so if the first dot is, whoa, there's so much going on, which there is a lot going on, but we just do it slowly. Va, ya, shave. Boom, and you're done. Va, ya, shave. Va, ya, shave. Next. Ma, ser. Ma, ser. That means tithe. Tithing. Ma, ser. Ma, ser. Ma, ser. Okay, ma, ser. Yea, mare. Yea, mare. Next. Va, ya, hail. Right, remember the A. Va, ya, hail. Va, ya, hail. Next. May, sha, bus. May, sha, bus. May, sha, bus. Next. May, share. May, share. Final one on this slide. Ateva. Ateva. Okay, excellent. I'm hearing some good feedback, by the way, even though we're moving, we're moving through this, but I am hearing some good reading going on here. Now, this is the final vowel. So just to recap, we did.
Only 4?
No, there's more. We're only
Oh,
doing 3
okay.
tonight.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm only doing 4 tonight. So we did the kamats, which is the a sound, we did the path, which is the a sound, we did the Siri, which is the a sound, the shades. And this one, what are those guys? It's gonna be as opposed to a, this is right? So there's a and then there's so that's eggs. Well, how do you get eggs? Well, and it's called sego. And I don't know if you guys know the name, but it's called sego. And it's the egg sound, it's the S sound. So now if we go back to these letters, suddenly it's bad, get, then, zen, let, sen, sen, Kevin, red, shen, sen, sen. So we've come a long way tonight because we started with an ba, ga, da. We went to an ba, ga, da. We did an a, now we're doing an ga, da. So you see how the vowels, the letters are the same, but depending on what your dots are underneath the letter will totally transform what you are reading completely. We're not going to do this slide, it's just the same letters, but out of order, that's fine. What I want to do is, let me see how many slides we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 4 slides. We're going to do 2 of the slides. Okay, we're going to start off with the first one, which is just the easier ones, the smaller letters, smaller words, and then we're going to go do one more like a big time slide, and then we're going to close it out for this evening. I will say, we learned the 22 letters, and I guess we learned 11 in each session, but I feel like this, even though there's only 4 vowels, but 4 vowels plus all the letters, I feel like there's more information in this class than in any other the other classes. So, and I said this, by lesson 3, we're already really picking up steam. So, I mean, it is what it is. This is what we're doing. All right, let's start from the top. And remember, the 3 dots make the S sound. So with Aleph, it's literally just going to sound the same because it just takes on the sound of the vowel. So it's S, S. Now, the next one is Ben. Yeah, the second one. Ben. Like Ben. Someone bends someone else. Third word is shell. Good. Next. Red. Good. Nets. Next,
Lev.
lev.
Beg.
Beged means clothing, beged. Next,
The,
good, kesef means silver or money. Next, lens, the lens means door. Oh, this is fun. Lev, lechem, lechem is hamotzi lechem and haaretz, bread. This one means sun. Shemesh, shemesh, sun. It means snow. Sheleg, sheleg. It means snow. Final, next, last one on the line is. Yeah, it's rounded. Red. Red. Yeah, it's chariot. Next, this means fence. Get there. Get there. Next, well, that's a test. Remember, just gonna tear at the top. Terem. And final one is emetz or emet, means truth. All right, last slide. Let me see which one I want to torch you with. This one is easy. This one is also the same. All right, you guys ready? This is it. This is the last slide of tonight, and it's literally it takes all of the vowels. What does it say, right? Oh, there it is. There's one Siri. There's a few Siri. Okay, so this is it. You got to put together all the sounds. So we're gonna go over this quickly before we do this last slide. Remember, the kamatz is the patach is the Siri is a, and the segol is f. So the
2 dots is A and the 3 dots is F.
Right, so remember the A for the shades and F for the X.
Okay.
So there's A and F, and then and A. So let's start from the top. The first word there is ba retz. Retz. That means in the land. Okay, next, I want to hear you guys say this. Excellent. Barega. Next. 1 second. So let's go through this. So we have May. No, it's not a. May. A. Den. May. A. Den. So there's Siri, A, and then N. So May A, Den. All right, next is good. Va, te, le. Next, okay, here we go. This is the first 5-letter word. All right. Good. Alechem. Like shalom. The yud doesn't really add much, and you won't really hear the yud. Even without it would pretty much be pronounced the same way. So you would say Shalom Aleichem. That's Aleichem. That's how it's written with the vowels. Next, Nefesh. Next, third line, Remez. Next, Vayasem. Next, led. All right, next word. I'm gonna hear you guys say this one. Good. La mad. Last line. Oh, you guys an exclamation mark there. That's cute. All right, let's do this. Last line. Good. Perek. That means chat. Perek. Next, second 5-letter word that we've encountered. Remember that? What's this last sound? That's May pa rasha. May pa rasha. Next one. Va ye ra. Last one I'll let you guys say. Because that means be strong. chazak.
An exclamation is the same, like the same punctuation.
Yeah. It means shout it loud. All right, it's like all caps. I guess Hebrew is always in all caps. There's no lowercase. All right, makes sense? You guys got all this stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was hard.
It's hard. I mean, no, but it's complex, or.
And then just remember what the vowels are.
So that's the homework. So homework this week is you have 4 vowels. I would start for your homework this week, I would just go over those first, well, I would start the first cards of each that tells you, and just go. Just you remember the alphabet where you have each letter of
Yeah,
of
pick the vowel.
things, so just go a, be, gay, day, hey, be, zay, hey, ye, ke, le, may, say, a,
Don't work on this, the words as much. Just work.
well, no, you could do that, but I would take the first few days and just so that you could recall, you drill it in your head,
Right.
that this is, yeah, like you, well, no, forget the whole thing, but you know, this pata, sego, and it's not, you don't have to know the names of it, you have to add another layer of info, but just know the sound, a, just know that cold, and once you know that, then you just start building the words, and just go step by step, you take the letter, you take the vowel underneath it, you take the next letter, the vowel underneath it. Most words that you'll encounter don't have any exceptions, I mean, these are the rules. Now, I will say, if you plan on opening a Siddur prayer book or Chumash in the interim, you will encounter inevitably you'll encounter some of the vowels that we haven't learned yet. So maybe just stick with these examples on the cards if you're practicing, but I would definitely not jump into this because the reason, although we did it tonight, it's like, what do you mean don't jump into it? What I mean is, you yourself, you know for yourself which ones, when you look at these words, which ones you're a little bit unsure about, then just drill there's no substitution, just drill that into your, into your memory, just keep on practicing that because what you want ideally is that when you come to one of these words, you are confident in putting it together. However long it takes, you're confident in putting it together. If you're not sure, is it lechem or lechem, then it means that you just got to go back to those, to know what the 2 dots versus 3 dots mean. And it doesn't mean that you're always going to get it right, even after all, you drill yourself with it, again and again. But you want to give yourself the best shot to recall it, when you need to, or at your fingertips. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would take the first it's like, so we have a week. So I would take the first 2 days and just spend like 10 minutes a day. It's not be too long. Just go through the dots, the vowels, and just get them solid. And then spin around with some of the letters. Some of the words I mean. The act, that's it. I have it, I don't have it open now. But I'm wondering if it pronounces each word.
Yeah.
Maybe when you hit the card, it will pronounce all the words on the card.
Yeah, it takes you through lesson 4 and 5, like.
Or this one, even, right here, it takes you through all the words.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
So if you ever have a doubt and you have the app, we'll recommend it. It's in fucking the end. It's pretty good. Read it deeper, because it's got this stuff. So, yeah, that's it. Let's see if you missed anything. No. Just the slideshow, quick tags. That's it. All right, any questions? Comments?
So the vowel where you could say it either way, what was it?
Yeah. That's.
The 2, there's one in the line or the uvula.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is confusing. Yeah, that's why a lot of people, to keep it simple. Microsoft PowerPoint would like to access the camera. I don't think so.
There's no vowels, so you just have to guess what it's about.
No, the way you know that, good question. The way you know that is that we have, I'll show you. Let's see. There's a Chumash.
Like all this stuff doesn't
I
have to
hope
be
you don't
vowels.
hurt your
Yeah.
eyes with this thing you keep looking
Yeah,
at.
that's,
Yeah.
No. you should put on some A's.
Shade.
They-
It is a Chumash. This is basically the Bible,
Uh-huh.
books of Moses, but just,
Look
not
at
scroll.
Yeah.
Vowels.
That's fine.
Yeah, but it's not hard.
But
Okay.
for a scroll, like in the art, scrolls themselves. Not a vowel.
Well, this part doesn't have to be vowels.
Yeah, that's the commentary. If you're studying commentary, then the assumption is you'll figure it out.
Is
If you're already ready to understand commentary, then you're on your own. Okay, so what are we gonna do next time? So next time, I'll give you a sneak preview. You guys want to see a sneak preview? All right. It's quiet.
You know what? These tiny little things underneath, you could barely see, okay, double dot and.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it's
It just needs to be better.
we're gonna be doing this stuff like a dot above. See those dots above? We're gonna be doing dots, one dot below. Right? So we'll do again next week. We're gonna cover dots above. We're gonna do a single dot below. Today we did 2 and 3 below. There's gonna be a single dot below. We're gonna do the 3 slanted dots below.
Oh.
Right? Right? Is that even legal? So we did 4 today, and that's 3 so far. This is the 4th, the dot in the middle. Okay, that's 4. That's 8 total. 3 slanteds are right here.
So that's, okay.
So here, you ready? So we did 4 today. So 4, no, 1 second. So 4, 5. Okay, 5. 6. 7. 8. 8. We got 4 more. So by the end of next week, so this is 5 sessions. By the end of next week, you will have all of the tools, all the mechanics. And then the 5th lesson is just that's our Sam. That's where we're gonna dabble and just putting it all together again and again and again. We should do that. We should do that. What do we need? I don't know. Oh, right. Make up for lost time. You can't do single malt, so but we can. Boom. Let's put the bar back in bar mitzvah. Hello. Yes. We need some designated drivers on the way back. Okay. Good. Any questions? So again, I would say review. There's 4 vowels. Make sure you know, just know the codes. When I say codes, I mean know the dots. Just get your dots, right? Follow the dots. And the dashes. Yeah, I know. Dashes and dots. By the way, in numerology, you guys want to know more numerology? The yud is 10, right? Like we said, chai is 8 and 10. Yud is 10 because the 10th letter. The dots, every dot is a yud. It's not really, but it's like a yud. So we're 10. So the 3 dots, 30, the 2 dots, 20, and a line and a dot, like the first one that comes out. The line is a vav. So vav and yud would be 6, 10, 16. No, when you get older, you learn that. You don't learn numerology like when you're a kid. You could. No, there's multiple forms of numerology. The basic numerology is just every letter has a number, 1 through 10, 10 through 100, 100 through 400. But if you go deeper, there's like 1,000 forms of numerology. And each one is dazzling in its beauty. I'm going to teach a course in numerology. It's called The Secrets of Hebrew Numerology. Boom. It touches on Kabbalah. Because even mathematicians, like math and mysticism is very closely aligned. Yeah, math, science, and spirituality is very,
so cool.
It's very blended. If you look online, like a lot of these math professors are like dabbling into Kabbalah anyway.
I saw this.
There's a lot of mystical stuff.
Seattle this summer, and it said, God is science.
What do you mean by that? But interesting.
That
Right.
it's like basically. thinks
Well, are you saying that
God-
you saw the sign and it opened up your eyes? You saw the sign? Little ace of base action.
Vaccine, because everybody, a lot of people have trust in God and they didn't get the vaccine.
Oh, is that what it means? So interesting. Oh, interesting.
The people like trust the signs, and I was like, trusting God, just trusting God. God's gonna keep you safe.
Right. Interesting.
So that was.
All right.
It was Seattle. everybody
Yes.
About the vaccine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's me again. All right. I'm going to say bye to myself. Pleasure.